go. All right, welcome everybody to this Wednesday afternoon team call. I'm super excited that you guys are here. I'm not going to spend too much time on announcements, but I do want to give a reminder that the Team Cup registration is coming to an end. So make sure that you're on a Team Cup. If you're like, what is the Team Cup? Go back and listen to the National Wake Up Call, listen to Kayshawn and the fire that she brought at the beginning of that, and then the three amazing coaches that were on there giving some tips. You can also just ask right in the Dynasty Strong team page or your upline team page what it is, how do I get on a team, and we'll help pair you up with somebody. Don't be afraid. It's just a fun way for you to work on achieving your goals that you might already have for your business, which are Success Club and advancing your rank. So make sure that you speak up about that and you take that action if you're wanting to build your business. The next thing is I want to just shout out for those that are attending New Leader Conference this weekend. It starts on Friday. So if you're like, what is that? Make sure you ask how to attend that, how to earn that. And it's very possible, even as a brand new coach right now, to earn that next year. From right now as a brand new coach to end up getting to go to virtual leadership next year, which will hopefully be live in person. This one will be virtual, but set that goal, put it on your vision board if you want to advance your business and be able to attend something like that. So with that being said, I'm going to announce our guest speaker. She's on here with us right now. We have Jessica Lanier, and her topic today is going to be how to more effectively communicate the value of Shakeology. She is a 2021 elite coach. She's a two-time premier coach. She's a Success Club Legend All-Star. She's a 5-star diamond in her first business center, a 1-star diamond in her second business center. And she's only been a coach since March of 2016. She's an RN and a holistic health coach. Cool thing that I love to hear from her was that she retired from her prison nursing job in June of 2018. So she just has been for almost 2 years a full-time coach and mama. Has 3 little kids, ages 5, 3, and 6 months. So she knows what it's like to be busy and be able to build this business at the same time. So with that being said, Jessica, I'm going to pass the time over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Scotty. I am so excited to be here with you guys. That whole crazy mom life, busy doing Beachbody stuff. So I have my team calls are at 9 in the morning Pacific time. And literally it went long. And my daughter, I was holding her, she's 6 months old, exploded poopy diaper all over me. So I was like, okay, guys, I gotta go speak for Scotty and his team, like baby wipe, bath in between. So I think I got it all off of me so I could be prepared for you guys. Never a dull moment in this business, right? No matter if you're new and you don't have other stuff going on in your life, which I think that everybody has stuff going on, whether you're working full time or you have a family, we all have something. And I'm going to start this by saying probably the most valuable piece of wisdom that I've learned in this business that I share with my team consistently, and I've been telling every single team that I've had the honor to share with, is to find a way to make your struggle your superpower in your business right now. Whatever you're struggling with, if it's retention, if it's recruiting more coaches, if it's getting them started right, develop the mindset to where you identify your roadblocks and then you learn to master them and you make that struggle of yours your superpower. So for right now, my husband's starting his own full-time business. We literally just moved from California to North Idaho, and I have 3 tiny humans I have to keep alive, but my Beachbody business is sustaining us financially. So that cannot get pushed to the back burner. That's my struggle. It's chaos, but I'm making it my superpower right now. I'm learning if this is my struggle, someone else is struggling with it. So I need to figure it out and then go teach it. And the same when I first started, I was working in prison full time, 40 to 60 hours a week as a registered nurse. As the infectious disease nurse of a prison, who goes into that profession? I did. I don't know why. And I built this business on the side, and that became a superpower to me. People are like, oh, if you could do it, I could do it. So wherever you're at, I would encourage you to really do that. Coming into Shakeology, I'm going to share my screen with you guys really quickly. 1 second. And I'm going to go, I don't like to go into present mode because I can't see your comments. So please, if you have any questions, put them in the chat and I will get to them as soon as I can. Let me see if I can make this bigger a little bit for you guys. Let's see if this is too big. This should work. Okay. So really quickly, I want you to know a little bit about why should you care what I have to say about Shakeology, right? And why it's such a passion of mine. This is actually a picture of me when I was 11 on my 11th birthday. My passion for serving people and helping them live their fullest life comes back to the time where I almost lost mine. On my 11th birthday, my dad and I were hit by a drunk driver. And we were both metaflighted to separate trauma hospitals. I required 5 surgeries to save my leg. I had brain swelling and I was put in a coma and on life support for a week. And I wasn't supposed to make it. Obviously, I did. God had more plans for me. A few weeks later, though, my dad lost his life. He ended up passing away from medical malpractice. And at an early age, I had to learn what it meant to pivot in life. And I had to learn, even honestly, I feel like I had to make those choices, but it was by God's grace. My faith has always been very strong, and my foundation of how I got through tough times in my life. But I developed this passion for, if I'm going to lay here in a hospital bed for a year, I couldn't walk for a year. If I'm going to do this, I know there's other people that I could help. And that almost became a coping mechanism for me. Like, if I could help one person get through a really tough time in their life, then, I could do something with this pain that I felt that I never even imagined possible. And so I did. I started in, oh man, at like 13, I started speaking at for Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and every 15 minutes, which are programs to bring awareness to drunk driving. And I wanted to become a nurse. And that was like how I was going to help people, because I know sick people need help and I wanted to help people live their fullest life. And so I went to nursing school, and I was stressed out. I had a lot of health complications through nursing school. I also played college softball, and I was a very intuitively kind of healthy eater. Like, I ate healthier than all my college friends, but I was sicker than all of them. I had chronic acid and food reflux at 19, 20 years old. My hormones were jacked up. I didn't have a period for sorry guys if you're on here. I didn't have a period for 7 years. Like, I was really messed up, and no medical professionals could fix me. And so I started researching more holistic and alternative medicine and nutritional therapies. And I, after graduation, became a certified holistic health coach, because I was like, whoa, we're all connected. Our body, mind, all of like our hormones and our gut health, and it's all connected. We can't just band-aid things. And so I kept pursuing this calling that I had to really get to the root of people's problems, mainly because I wanted them to live fully, because I knew, when I learned at a young age, life can be over in an instant, and it is what we make it. We've seen so many people overcome really hard things, and they're so inspiring, and I wanted to be that person, to be there and hold people's hands through their struggles. So I'm an absolute nerd about all things science. I will try not to get too sciencey on you, but and I can share these slides with you too, Scotty, afterwards if you guys want, because I'm going to get into some ingredients. My passion is really helping people understand why we drink Shakeology. Now, I'll be honest with you. When I first heard about Shakeology, like most people, I was like, what is this overpriced protein powder? So annoying when we hear that, right? But I was so that person, like, yeah, right. Beachbody. Oh, good name, company. I know so much about the human body. I pay $300 to $400 a month on supplements, and they're the top quality. And I know about all these nutritional theories. And I thought I was way better than Beachbody. I'll be totally honest with you. I did. And so that's why I didn't try it for so long. Then I had a baby, and I was like, oh, Elizabeth Hartkey, you got abs after having your first baby, and you did it from home in 22 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna try that. Liz was a total stranger to me. She's who my coach is. Total stranger to me on Facebook, and I reached out to her and was like, okay, I'll do this thing. And I started researching Shakeology and was blown away by the ingredients. And so if you can just take away a piece of the power of why we drink it, that's what we want to communicate with our teams and with our prospects, is this is why this is so powerful. even if it's just snippets here and there. You don't have to be a nerd like me, but just to have that passion behind what you're doing, people will follow that and they'll be attracted to it. So I have to say this for compliance. I have a very close relationship with compliance because I stress them out because I'm such an outside the box thinker. Like, people need to understand Shakeology better. We need to show them like what adaptogens are. We've come so far just in the 4 years, almost 5 years that I've been a part of our company. But please know that should never be construed as medical advice. I or Beachbody never claim that we can cure, treat, or prevent any medical condition. That is very, very important. We are about helping fuel people's health to get them to be the healthiest version of themselves. And that's really all the verbiage that you need to know with that. When you start using medical conditions, then it gets kind of hairy. Okay, so screenshot this if you can. 5 formulas in one. If you've never understood this, if you only come away with one thing from this call today, I want you to understand and know, like memorize, that Shakeology has 5 different formulas. And they were specifically designed to address the 5 major deficiencies in the average adult. Did anyone not know that? Because honestly, I don't think that most people in our network know this, and it's so powerful. And all you need to do, and I usually bring a bag of Shakeology, but look on the back and look at the 5 different areas, and you can read off of that. But know about these, because price objections disappear when you teach people about just these 5 things. And all you have to do is like, okay, so there's actually, what are adaptogens? And Darren only did an amazing video that we just watched at Super Weekend about, it talks about adaptogens, right? What's in our digestive blend? Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know about enzymes and probiotics. You don't have to know everything, but just get the gist of it. So we have a clean protein blend, a super green or phytonutrients blend, a super fruits and antioxidant blend, an adaptogen blend, and a digestive support blend in every dose of this cafe latte chocolate peanut butter shake that you drink every day. Is so powerful. Okay, so I want to make sure that everybody knows that there are clinical trials that are partnered, that have been done on Shakeology, and you could read about them in the FAQs. This is the first one that was done, and it's one of my favorites. It's in FAQ 290. And it showed, so what they did is they had a group of participants come in for 90 days. And if you read the study, it says that they drank Shakeology for breakfast and lunch, and that was it. They did not change anything else. They didn't change exercise. It didn't say anything about what else they ate. That's all that it said. And over the course of those 90 days, that showed a reduction in their blood sugar by measuring their hemoglobin A1C by an average of 5%, while some reduced their numbers by up to 19%. For any of you who are at all familiar with like diabetes and all that, that's insane. That's incredible, right? Reduction in cholesterol, with the average being by 7%, with a maximum reduction of 50% in 90 days. That's crazy, right? That's amazing. And then supports healthy weight loss with an average loss of 9.3 pounds, which is big for just adding in Shakeology, just adding in a shake, right? With the highest weight loss being 24 pounds. That's the power at your fingertips that you should be screaming from the mountaintops. I just did a team call a week ago, and I shared health statistics. When was the last time you looked at America or in the UK or Canada, wherever you're at, but your country's or our world's health statistics and obesity and lifestyle diabetes that's on the rise? What about anxiety and depression and suicide rates? What we have, and I'm not saying Shakeology is going to cure all of that, but what we have as a community, in our tool belt, talk about supply and demand. We have never before been in a world that needs more coaches than we do right now, that needs health promoting products more than what we need right now. Everyone's terrified of losing their health. So let's teach them how to invest in it. This is research on what we're doing. You are research. So I hope that you're drinking your Shakeology every day. This is my second one of the day. I hope you're drinking it every day, and that you are the research, and that you are the example, and you're the living proof that, man, I feel better even though my kids didn't sleep last night. It's amazing that I'm not a walking zombie. This stuff works, right? Okay. Clean protein blend. I need to open up my chat box because it's not showing me, you guys. So, okay, we are going to, catching up on here, go into really quick, a quick breakdown. This probably does not look like super simple to you guys, so I apologize. I'm gonna go kind of fast through this, which is why I'm sending the slides over. But I wanted to pick out a few interesting and unique things about our Shakeology's protein blend. First of all, there's a huge benefit that it is a blend and not just one source. So for the vegan protein component of this, they could have just used pea protein or just rice protein. They could have, it probably would have been cheaper, but they didn't. They used the blend. For the regular version, they could have just used whey, but they didn't. They used the blend. And the reason why that's significant is because proteins break down into something called amino acids. So think of them as bricks. The amino acids are the building blocks of protein. Every protein source has a different amino acid profile. It contains different amino acids. So Beachbody put together a combination of different proteins with different amino acid profiles so that when we drink a serving of it, we get a complete amino acid profile. Did I lose you yet? Hopefully you're still with me. That is significant because we need a complete amino acid profile, and we get that from our protein blend. That's very valuable. So when your friends go like, well, I get my whey protein from GNC, and you're like, that's cool. I've got how many different 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different proteins in mine, right? Like knowing those things are kind of helpful. Also, I wanted to touch on the whey protein isolate because because I'm in the field of holistic health, I get this question a lot. So we use an isolate versus a concentrate, which is the purest form of whey protein available on the market, and it's processed through a gentle, state-of-the-art cold filtration process. And this might not mean anything to you, but just know this: if it was heated, it would denature the protein so that it actually became inflammatory and could have negative health side effects versus being nutritious and something the body can recognize because oh gosh, I'm using too big of words, but its integrity is maintained. Okay, so just know that it's cool. Cold filtration process is a cool thing. Maybe that could be your takeaway from this slide. Excuse me. Okay. And then hopefully you all know, and if you're new, maybe you haven't heard yet, that each batch of Shakeology is tested 1,900 times. 1,900 times. Oh, this slide didn't, the verbiage got cut off. It's not just for heavy metals, but it's for potency and purity is what that should say. And that's just an easier way of saying, like, to make sure that it doesn't have things like heavy metals, pesticides, herbicides, and to make sure that the potency of those superfoods is intact. You can imagine they get their ingredients from various different places, so they're making sure that what they deliver to you is consistent. I had to tell you guys a story because this happened maybe 6 months ago on my team, and I had a coach who took a picture of, she had ordered the last month like chocolate vegan Shakeology, and then she ordered it this month, chocolate vegan Shakeology, and the scoopers were different sizes. And so I reached out to compliance or to coach relations, and I'm like, really? Like, I know we have crazy things happen in our warehouses, but how does this happen? I thought we have super high standards. And they responded and they were like, actually, we do. Because we test each batch, we can identify when sometimes there is less potency in the formula. So we add a bigger scoop, we add more product to make sure that every serving is consistent with the amount of nutrition in it. And I'm like, mind blown. Can we share this with the network? That is dedication. That is so cool because I would never know if they didn't do that, but the heart behind our company is something that drew me to them over other companies or over other products. That was so mind blowing to me. And so I wanted to share that with you guys. Okay, number 2, this is our superfruits or antioxidants blend. Feel free to screenshot that. If you guys, I have a question. when I move my chat box around, can you guys see it since I'm sharing my screen? I want to make sure you can. Okay, perfect. Okay, so antioxidants you think of as our immune boosting types of things. If you were to go to a Whole Foods market and get a food source vitamin C complex, you're going to see acerola cherry, camu camu, and rose hips in it. Rose hips here's a fun fact about it. Your wife's nickname, that's cute. Rose hips is really cool because because it helps with the bioabsorbability of vitamin C. So, and I learned this years ago when I was studying different vitamins and how to pick the right ones. Rose hips, they add to vitamin C supplements to help our body absorb it more. And so, like, again, going to the heart of our company, that they know these important things. Most people don't know that. Most people don't care about that until they learn about it. And then it's like, wow, that's so cool that they did that. Camu camu and acerola cherry specifically are some of the world's highest sources of vitamin C, of naturally containing vitamin C, and that's in here. Goji berries, again, really powerful. So what do antioxidants do? Think of it this way. They basically fight against the aging process or the degeneration process. And so that's why you see it on like skincare products, antioxidants, getting antioxidants, and green tea. Those things are all powerful for different versions of degeneration, from heart disease to our skin to our immune systems. It's just really powerful to have, and we get it every single day that we drink our shake. Number 3, super greens. Okay, I have to ask you guys, has anyone ever heard of Dr. Otto Warburg from the 1920s? You probably haven't visited him. Okay, Brenda has. Go Google him. It's just really fascinating. So he won a Nobel Prize for learning and proving that cancer cells, now please don't take this out of context. This is just really fascinating. Cancer cells thrive in an acidic and oxygen deprived environment, but they cannot survive in an alkaline, oxygen rich environment. Okay? Super greens, power greens, are greens that we eat, things like chlorella, kale, matcha, spinach. They are known as alkaline foods. They create a more alkaline, oxygen rich environment in our bodies. Our bodies tend to thrive health-wise in a slightly more alkaline environment, and most disease cannot thrive in that state. Now, please, again, don't take this out of context. Do not film me and tag compliance and say Jessica's saying that Shakeology cures cancer, because that's not what I'm saying. It's just a background knowledge that's really interesting and good to know, that helps us develop a passion for what we're getting into people's bodies. Because the average American is going to McDonald's because they're stressed out and they don't have any time to make dinner. So let's at least get them some super greens that taste like chocolate. Literally, you guys, we performed a miracle. We made spinach and kale taste like chocolate. How do you do that? I don't know, but like, that's why I'm so excited about what we do. It's amazing. And these power greens are essential, whether it's from Shakeology or just in life. Eating greens in a concentrated amount is very, very important for our health. So this is a way that we found a magic trick. We found a life hack to get it in daily, consistently, and not gag it down, right? And I still do my power green shots every single morning on top of that, because you can't really, unless there's certain like medical underlying conditions, you can't really overdo it on the greens, right? That's usually not America's biggest problem. So I love this. Oh, side note about chlorella. If you go research chlorella, it's really powerful for helping your body naturally detox from heavy metals. And metals are everywhere. It's in our water, in our soil, in our air, in our mouths, right? A lot of people who have the amalgam fillings, it's a really powerful ingredient. Oh, and I want you to know about matcha, right? We just added it 2 years ago, I think it was, maybe 3. But we added matcha and chaga to Shakeology's formula. Matcha is a form of green tea that contains, are you ready for it? 137 times the amount of catechins, which are a form of antioxidant, than regular green tea. Matcha has 137 times the amount of antioxidants than regular green tea. That's really cool. And that's something that you can maybe share in your stories while you're drinking your chocolate peanut butter shake, right? Hey, how cool that I am getting so many antioxidants in my chocolate shake every day. You can too. Okay, this one is my favorite, adaptogens. Does anyone know what adaptogens are? I mean, maybe you watched Darren's Super Saturday video that he did, and so you're like, oh, I heard about those. They're so good. They're so powerful. And let me tell you, they are so essential for our world right now because they helped us adapt to stressors. Are any of you parents? And are any of you, sometimes you find yourself limited in patience, maybe, right? Like the stressors of our world right now, we can't stop. We can control a very small amount of the stressors of our world outside, and even if you're a parent like with kids, like you're just going to have explosive diapers in the middle of a team call. Sometimes it's going to happen, or your kid's going to draw with marker on the walls and you're going to want to flip out. We can't change the stressors, but we can make ourselves more resilient and adaptable to stress. And that's what adaptogens help us do, along with a lot of personal development, right? But physically speaking, adaptogens are super powerful at helping us naturally increase our energy without stimulating us. And if you're someone who struggles with like anxiety or being overwired, it actually helps you feel more grounded. They help you adapt to your environment. It's not a suppressant, it's not a depressant or a stimulant. It just helps you become more, return you to baseline. And if you look up, I highlighted these ingredients right here in yellow because if you look those up, they're my favorite. I used to pay a lot of money to order these separately in tonics because they are a type of medicinal mushroom. No, not that kind of medicinal mushroom. And that's not why you're so happy when you drink your Shakeology, but they're really powerful at helping fortify the immune system. Look them up. They're involved in several, even they're in medical journals and clinical trials with a lot of chronic disease because they're so powerful in helping modulate the immune system. Again, do not take this out of context, please. I just really want you to know and see how powerful these things are. All of these are my favorite. Okay, and then our fifth formula is the digestive support blend. So Hippocrates said back in the day that all disease begins in the gut. And if you think about it, it makes sense because why, from a survivalist level perspective, why do we eat food? It's not for our taste buds, right? We eat food to have energy to live, to survive. Our body needs the nutrition and the nutrients and the calories in order to keep functioning. That's why we live. Well, when we eat, where is our food absorbed? And for some of you who don't know, it's in your small intestine. Your small intestine is over 20 feet long, curled up in your belly. And that leaves room for a lot of damage to occur when you eat crap. And it can cause holes in your stomach line, in your intestinal lining. It can cause a lot of food allergies. It can cause a plethora of issues. Well, our small intestine, that 20-foot long tube, is lined with these little finger-like structures called microvilli. Those microvilli have little holes on them that absorb your food once it's digested, and it sends it out into the body. So it sends it out into all of your other systems, all of your other organs, so that they can work properly. Well, if you have a damaged digestive system, what's happening? You're not properly absorbing the nutrition from your food, so everything around you suffers. It makes sense, right? When you think of it that way. Excuse me. And so this is why, whether or not you have digestive symptoms, which honestly nowadays most people do have, they just don't realize that it's not normal. They don't realize that they should be going to the bathroom multiple times a day, or at least once. In nursing school, I learned that it's normal to go it's like a bowel movement is normal between once every 7 days or 3 times a day. I'm like, does not sound right. We eat multiple times a day, right? But that's like our culture. That's what we live in. People think that constant bloating and acid reflux and pressure and heartburn and constipation are all normal, and they're not. And so getting this into people's hands is helping those 70 million people in America who suffer every day from some sort of digestive issue. And even if they don't have symptoms, you're helping them prevent complications down the road. So we have three different um, categories of digestive support. We have fiber, which is also the prebiotics. Prebiotics feed probiotics to keep them strong. It's the cone root and chicory root. We have probiotics, Bacillus coagulans. Side note, if you haven't learned this already, that Bacillus coagulans is a specific type of probiotic that's meant to survive your stomach acid and get to your small intestine. Remember, I just talked about that's where we absorb all of our food. The average probiotic you buy off the shelf will not survive your stomach acid. Your stomach acid's insanely strong to burn up bad things like tiny microbugs. I know, so gross. But we like eat bugs that are on our food and parasites and gross things like that. Excuse me. And our stomach acid is made to like burn through metal on purpose so that it's one of the first steps of digestion. Well, Bacillus coagulans has a special protein covering around it so that it won't get damaged in your stomach, and it can pass through the digestive system to your small intestine where the probiotics can go to work, recolonize, meaning they can like set up a tent and set up camp and like reproduce and make a bunch of friends so that there's more Bacillus coagulans probiotics. This is like, I know you guys like, what is she talking about? But it's really important to have probiotics. Think of your small intestine as a battlefield, right? Probiotics are the good guys, and then there's bad bacteria. If you ever have to take an antibiotic, it's like throwing a grenade in your small intestine and killing all the guys, which is why if you have a good doctor, they'll tell you to take probiotics after you have an antibiotic. Excuse me. Bacillus coagulans is a really good guy that you want on your team in your belly all the time. So that is in our Shakeology that we drink every day. Amazing, life-changing for some, I will say. And then we have enzymes. So I learned years ago that digestive enzymes are very important to add into your lifestyle because they're finite. They are not infinite. They do not continue to produce in your body, which is why as people age, they have a deficiency. We have enzymes in every single shake. And the reason why they have different, like they all end in ACE, is because that is the definition of an enzyme. And then the beginning is the description of what it helps digest. So like amylase helps digest carbohydrates. Lactase helps digest lactose. And we have a variety, which is so powerful. Again, Beachbody didn't have to do that. They could have just put in a probiotic and said, we have digestive support, but they didn't. They were intentional and comprehensive, just like Shakeology is very comprehensive. Now, how do you add this to like, how do I explain this to everybody? You don't need to. Start with like the 5 formulas. So like in my welcome email to my new people, I just highlight, hey, you could even use the screenshot you just took. I just want you to know when you're drinking your Shakeology, there's these 5 incredible formulas in every single drink that you have, in every single shake that you make. How powerful is that? You know, we talk about our why with coaching. That's our fuel to keep going when things are hard. I feel and believe that we should help our people understand why they're investing monthly in Shakeology and why they don't want to skip it. Because it's life-changing when you do it consistently. Our stressors of life are not going to go away. The depleted soil, it's not going to go away. The toxins everywhere, they're not going to go away. So we need this on a daily basis to keep ourselves as strong as possible whenever there's a pandemic, whenever our kids are stressing us out, whenever we lose our job and we're stressed out, or when we're injured and we can't work out. This is a powerful tool in our tool belt that I value so much, and I want to drink it every single day. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, So we're moving on, and this is for you guys to use. This part is for you guys to use for price objections. Are you ready? Mine's about to be blown. I've never heard anyone explain this before. And I remember when I was first making this presentation, I want to say it was a couple years ago now, I was like, why has no one ever explained this before? So we learned about the 5 different pieces of Shakeology, right? Let's do some math. Not my strong suit. I use a calculator. Okay, so Shakeology for a customer costs $129, right? And many people think, wow, that's expensive. That's expensive. Let's break it down. 129 divided by 5 formulas, because let's not forget what happens with each batch of Shakeology. It's tested 1900 times for potency and purity, and you get a 30-day supply, a full month supply. So for $129, you're getting 5 formulas in one bag, but 5 things that people go out and buy separately. How many of you have gone out and bought a probiotic? How many of you have gone out and bought an immune support? How many of you have gone out and bought and taken a gross wheatgrass powder shot and choked it down because it's healthy, right? So many people go out and they buy protein. They go buy these things separately, but it doesn't add up in their head because they're buying them separately. We have all of that in one place. And if you were to divide it by 5, that's only $25.80 per formula. And each of those tested 1900 times for a full month supply, and you're getting no artificial crap in it anywhere, which that is really hard to find. If you're someone who's never really read ingredient labels, I encourage you to start doing that, because all the supplements that you go buy, read the other ingredients paragraph that most of them have of binders and fillers. Or if you go get a protein or you get a pre-workout, you go get anything in the fitness industry, the vast majority of them are full of artificial ingredients. We don't have any of that. Any of that. That's incredible. Talk about a value, right? But then let's go a step further. Our coach account, it's only $97 divided by 5. That's only $19.40 per formula for, excuse me, I broke it down here. Per formula for a full month supply, a 30-day supply is only $19.40. That's ridiculous. I honestly believe Shakeology should be more expensive. I don't understand how Beachbody makes money and pays us commission at the same time, because I've done the research and looked into other products and industries and asked companies about their sourcing. And the majority of vitamin and supplement industries get their supplements from 5 major companies in our country, and they just rebrand them. We are so unique in what we have to offer. Under $20 for an entire month supply of all of those things: clean protein, a super green complex, antioxidant complex, stress support adaptogen blend, and a digestive support formula. That's amazing, right? So I firmly believe that we have the solution, and it's our responsibility to share it with as many people as possible. Remember how I was talking about how make your struggle your superpower? If you are in a place where you feel like you're getting the same objections, or you're just having a hard time with retention, then figure out why and start getting like reinvigorating your passion for what you're sharing with people. This doesn't even include the challenge pack. Are you kidding me? Like the value that we offer in one place. I had my own business in holistic health coaching. People paid me $100 for 75 minutes, and that was just for my time. That was just for me to listen and ask them questions. They get you for free. They paid me $100, and then they had to go buy the list of supplements that I gave them. Then they had to go buy a gym membership fee, and they had to do their own meal plan, right? This is so valuable what we have to offer. And I think that sometimes we take it for granted because it's at our fingertips, especially if you've been around for a while, and we forget. Or you're brand new and you get overwhelmed. You get really overwhelmed with like, oh my gosh, there's so many things that I should be doing, or how do I share, or what will people think? I don't know what to post on social media. I will tell you, because I don't think that I know any of you on here, and you don't know me. So I can tell you to get out of your head, because we have people to save. We really have people to save. And I know like this stuff brings me so much joy, but I also see the need. I see the people who have no idea that their way of living is making them feel so sick and depressed and lethargic, and I see moms that they're like, what is wrong with me? And they don't have a very vibrant life. They're like, their marriage is suffering because they're not happy with themselves, and they have no energy to play with their kids, and they are like beating themselves up, and they develop this toxic mindset. We've got our, we're in such a crazy place in our country right now. And I know that I've heard a lot of coaches say, like, it's just so hard to show up on social media because of politics or because of the toxicity. To me, it is my mission field. People need me now more than ever to be a light and to show up and show them a different way to respond. My life is just as crazy as the next person. And so that is, now I take it as my responsibility to show them, how do I how can we together show up differently when life is so stressful? Let's work out together. I wake up at 4:15 every morning, pretty much 7 days a week. And I work out Monday through Friday with a group of crazy people like me on my team who works out at 4:45 in the morning. And we're figuring it out together. And yes, absolutely. Shakeology definitely cured Trump. I think that was the secret that he was the secret to America. I'm just kidding. Anyways, I'm gonna get off of my soapbox, but I am totally open to questions. If you guys have any questions about Shakeology or business or anything like that, I hope this is helpful.
That was absolutely awesome. Does anybody have a question you want to ask Jessica while we have her here?
No, I just want to say that Jessica, I wasn't really paying attention when you presented at our Super Saturday because I'm part of the council, and I was busy making sure everybody was needing to be where they could be. And so I am so glad that I finally got the breakdown of what you were talking about during that presentation. And it's mind-blowing, the opportunity that we have. And I just keep kicking myself in the butt as to why I didn't take massive action years before. And now it's just, I don't know, something about this pandemic has really given me a new direction, because I'm more focused on my showing up on social media. I'm more focused on learning about this stuff and using it as my ammo to attract people, to attract mod people. So thank you. And I truly appreciate that.
Love that.
Thank you. Anybody else have a question?
Also, Dwana, I totally do sleep. I will say, like, sleep is very important to our healing and our health. So I actually, my power almost went out. So I'm like, it's a blizzard outside right now. I do go to sleep usually between 8 and 9. I'm very old in that capacity, but.
With the 6-month-olds, your babies are magic.
What'd you say?
I said, even with a 6-month-old, so your babies are magic.
I co-sleep with my daughter. Totally transparency. Her crib has been broken for 2 weeks, and it's full of laundry that's also been there for 2 weeks. So I'm really awesome at knowing about Shakeology, but like, laundry is my nemesis. I co-sleep with her, and it makes it a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, I want to say thank you. I've studied a little bit of all of these ingredients. Like I was on my Instagram stories, I would do like one ingredient a day, and I just would literally go to Google and Chaga, and I would like write out some things and share that. But this like helped me understand it much more, because I did that kind of rushed, like helps with digestive, helps with this, but I didn't really dig into it. So this really helped me a lot. And for those of you that might not know this yet, and I realized, man, I need to share this more often. Like my 5 kids, every single one of them has a shake every single day with us. Just like we do like one shake, and we'll split into 3 little glass jars for like the 3 youngest. My oldest makes her own shake. She does like 2 a day. But it's like, it's cool to see that the kids are adapting that as well. And knowing as a parent, like what that's doing for their intestinal and gut health, like at such a young age. I just loved hearing everything. So thank you, Jessica. Okay, all right. I am going to let Jessica go. Make sure there's no extra poop from the explosion earlier. And we'll let you guys get to work. I want you guys to make sure you take action. Remember to drink your shake every single day, but have a purpose and meaning behind it, not just to do it because it's a part of your business, but this is a part of you healing yourself and being that example to other people. And then at the end, realizing, like, as we go into the team cup, use this information to help overcome those price objections, to get more passionate about our mission and how we can help people. And Chris asked for the special wave at the end, so I will make sure to do that as we all log off. But thank you guys once again, and we'll see you guys next time.